Hi, I am Lola Sabawi from Lola for Children YouTube channel, and a lot of people requested that I show them how I did the base for the stories that I make for children. And today I'm going to show you the making of the theatrical base of any role play or any story making, whether if the story is well known, like Little Red Riding Hood or Three Little Pigs, or a story that a child will come up from his own imagination, his own story, and he move the action figures around and does the whole theater by himself. The base for any story or any theater is very easy, and it costs almost nothing. It's just a piece of foam, and the foam is very light. That's why it's easier to work with. And I got mine from a building site. It's a leftover from a building site. So I got it for free from the street. You can do that, or you can buy them from special shops if you like them brand new. The reason why I like working with foam is very easy, very light, and it's easy to shape, to sculpture it, to cut through it like butter. And you can cut it with the bread knife, which you have in the kitchen, or a steak knife, because it's like a saw. The edge is like a saw, and you just saw it or shave it or dig in it, like I dug a hole here to plant a tree, for example. The only problem with foam that it's very, very messy, as you can see. The fluff goes everywhere. And that's why you make sure that you sticky tape all around the edges, so when the child is playing with it later on, nothing of that dust come out and make a big mess. The one that I use is the cloth tape. It's child safe, and it's very, very strong, and it holds water, so no matter if the activity involves water or anything, it stays intact, it doesn't come out. And all I did here is, with that cloth tape, I put the tape all around the block of foam that I have. It's easy to cut, you can even cut it with your mouth, and it comes perfectly shaped. So I used it to all around the edges, as you can see. So there's no mess, and it's safe, and it doesn't fall apart. I dug a hole here with the steak knife on the shape of anything in the kitchen that I don't want. Something old, you know, like a little bowl like this one, or a plastic bowl or a plastic container. If it's square, if it's round, it doesn't matter. All you have to do is place your container, and with a pen just draw around it to know how big your hole should be, and then with the knife start digging. Once you dig a hole that is the same size of your container, you place the container in the hole, and then use the sticky tape that I told you about, the cloth tape, around the edges, so it seals it. So when you fill it with water, the water doesn't come out or leak inside the foam. Once you do that and you stick the sticky tape all around, you get a brush if you want it to be a farm, for example, so your child can do, Old MacDonald have a farm on this base. You just paint it with any paint that you have around, even cheap watercolors, any acrylic colors, water-based. But make sure that if you're using water-based colors, that you seal it after with a sealer, you know, special sealer or varnish. So when it gets wet, the color doesn't leak out. So I'm using very cheap ones from the $2 shops, Reject Shop. Doesn't cost much, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You're not in an art contest. You're just doing whatever you can. Make it bright and nice for your child. So what I did, I mixed yellow and green to make the base that looks like this brass in here. And I painted it, wait for it to dry, and then I sealed with varnish over it. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Whatever that looks like the real thing will do. After that, after I painted the base, I got some rocks from outside, from the garden. So this doesn't cost you anything. And I bought some glue, PV glue, craft glue, any glue will do. I put the glue on the base of the rock, the flatter one, and then on the surface like this, and left it overnight to dry. Once the glue dries, they're not gonna fall out, of course. They're gonna be very, very strong. Like I showed you, no matter how the child plays with it, it doesn't break and it doesn't fall. Very, very strong. This is a piece of foam as well, so I just shaped a piece of foam again with the glue, stick it in here and painted it any color I want. If you want it to be black or rocky, sandy color, whatever. And I glued it as well. And then you go around your old vases in the house, plastic plants that you don't want, instead of throwing it away, you just, this is the stem of the plastic flower. I use it like a nail to hold things in, like that. And here's the other one. See? You can shape it. It's just like a wire. And you just hold your plant. Just in case if you want to change your mind later on and put the plant somewhere else, it's up to you. The only thing, after you do the whole base, the only thing that you buy, which again, it doesn't cost heaps, is this group of animals that comes from reject shops and $2 shops, and the animals, the set of farm animals and the fences and the trees, they come in one package. I think it costs like $10. They come with their trees and with their everything. And from your old vases, like I said, fill the whole place with plants if you like. If the thing is about, let's say, a forest, you can put a lot of trees. All I did is just put a little bit of glue tag at the end to make the tree fix, so it doesn't fall and move around. Little glue tag here, and that's it. If your story or activity that you're making for a child requires a house or couple or 3 houses, like the 3 little pigs, they're very easy to make, and I make them from cardboard. So if I have a box, empty box, I just cut it into pieces like this. I just cut a box and stick the pieces together with the sticky tape that I showed you, and the same with the roof and the same with the base. And then you can draw on one of the faces of this cardboard a window if you like, or cut a door, or cut through a window. And you can make the roof any shape you like, flat roof or triangular tiles roof, whatever. Once you paint, once you stick the house together, I stick it together with the white cloth one, the same cloth tape, but a white color to stick the edges. So the good thing about this tape, that you can paint over it, not like other type of paint of tapes. You can actually paint over it or use permanent markers to draw on it. They don't leak or fade, or if you're using normal ink and then the child is playing with water, the ink will run. But with permanent markers, you can paint over this tape perfectly. See? It doesn't go away. After you shape your house or your little houses, the size, of course, is up to you and up to the story that you're making the base for. A little bit of glue tag Blue tag is very cheap. You can get it from $2 shop and reject shop as well. So you use a little bit of blue tag. It's like that to stick the house wherever you want it to be here or there, whatever. The trees, you can stick them with the blue tag again. Fences, that they come with the package of the farm animals, usually just like that. And you don't want to glue them, because once they're glued, they're fixed in that place. You cannot remove them. So it's better for the child and for the child's imagination, if you want to change a story or do another story, is use blue tag. It's reversible, so you just stick him with the blue tag. And of course, you get your animals, depends on the story that you're making. So the stars of our story here were the horse and the donkey. To move them around in a theatrical way, I use the fish, the fish line, and you just tie it around the neck. And I'll remind you again, every activity is done, is your child doing, it's better be under your supervision. So once you finish building the base for the story or the role play, I see the hole that I dug here. I can just get any old plastic plants from my old vase that I didn't want to. I used a lid of the toothpaste here, and blue tag, of course, to put the tree in it, so it looks like a pot with a tree. This one again, I gathered them from an old vase, tie them around with the same tape, and you can just plant them in holes, the holes that you made, and you can move it around if you want to hide it and make it grow again with the fish wire, because it's sort of invisible and you can't see, and the child goes, wow, it's growing by itself like the real thing. Yeah, so, or the child can just move the animals with his hands. Most children like doing that. They don't want to complicate things. So as you can see, the cost for everything I've used here is almost nothing. Maybe it will all add up to 15, 20 Australian dollars. And the child can play with this for years. He can make stories on it, he can make his own story, he can play with his brother or sister. Each one is holding a character, an animal or a human or whatever, and they can just do the whole play together and they can talk. It works like therapy for the children, and it's very useful because it fosters their emotional intelligence, their social intelligence, and of course it enhances their imagination. I hope you have enjoyed the video, and next time when I do my next story, I will show you how to do the base for it from the scratch. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in Lola for Children. Don't forget to subscribe, and have a nice day.